Hi, this is Paul Rodgers, and you're on BackstageAxxess.com, where the real show begins.
Just like this. Watch my hand writing this last letter.
BackstageAxxess.com. We're here in Toronto with the one and only legendary singer, Paul Rodgers, Mr. Paul Rodgers. How are you doing, Paul?
I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you, Gus?
I'm doing very well, and Paul's actually getting ready to do a promotional signing for his new album. And if you haven't picked it up, I have it right here, The Royal Sessions, on Pi Records. Check it out. And it came out a short time ago. And tell us about, this is the album that you really have been wanting to make for a long time. I mean, you are a blues-based singer. 50 years, I think, I don't want to say 50 years, you've been chomping at the bit to probably do something like this, but it's been a long time that you wanted to make a record like this.
Well, you know, man, it's been on the back burner for many, many years. I say, you know, it's a long way from Middlesbrough to Memphis, Tennessee, you know, and I've got there via all around, you know, different places and touring and different bands and all kinds of music. But this music is in back of everything that I've done, really. It was the original inspiration when I first started out in my hometown in Middlesbrough. We had a band. We'd go around and we'd play. We'd play everywhere, actually, weddings, bar mitzvahs, you know, bars everywhere.
Right.
And then we'd go play. We'd go to this club, and they played great music there. And a lot of the music was Stax and Otis Redding. And I went out and bought the albums and got right into it, and it's stayed with me.
Now, Otis Redding obviously is well represented on this record. And speaking about Otis and some of the other artists that you decided to cover, how difficult was it to narrow it down to put the songs on this record?
It wasn't difficult. You know, the whole album was actually made very easy for me by Perry Margoleff, my
Yeah, I think Perry's around here somewhere.
Because we talked about our influences. Well, we're actually working on a different project. We're writing songs together, and we're doing this album that we're working on, which is an entirely different thing. But he found himself down in Memphis and called me and said, "Guess what? You know, the Royal Studios is down here. It's still as it was. It's got this fantastic atmosphere, and Boo Mitchell, who runs the studio, tells me he can get really great session musicians if you'd like to do any sessions." And I said, "Well, let me think about that for a second." Okay.
Yeah.
You know, and I flew down there. We had 3 days just to check it out and see if it would work, you know, and it really worked so well. Oh, yes. It worked so well that we decided we'd get back there and we'd do, you know, make a fully fledged album, which is what we did.
Now, my favorite song is the Isaac Hayes cover, "Walk On By."
Oh, yeah.
I love that track. What was your favorite track to do, and why? I should
Well,
ask.
you know, man, each of the tracks has its own story. If That's How Strong My Love was great for me because the song, all the songs I love, but it was the first song that we did. And when I walked in there, they hadn't been told, the guys in the band, they hadn't been told who I was, and they didn't quite. They said, "Oh, you know, he's a singer-songwriter." And that's all they knew. So there was no preconceived ideas from anybody, really, on anybody's part. So I sort of felt, well, I've got to sort of prove myself a little bit here. You know, I've got to show the guys I can sort of sing this stuff a little bit, you know. So we'll try this one. If I'm the sun way up there. And we went into that. And I looked around and I could feel that, you know, they went, okay, this guy knows what he's doing. And we kind of locked in at that moment. And it was like that for the entire album. But I like all the, you know, obviously, I like all the tracks on the album. That's why they're on there.
Hard to pick.
Yeah.
Very organically, you were talking about the players didn't know who you were. You came in there. You had to prove yourself. Were you actually nervous taking it back maybe when you first started, you know, out and you weren't sure of yourself? Kind of like you had to really, like you said, kind of, you know, have the goods. And these guys didn't know you from Adam. Come in and say, you know, who are you? And all of a sudden you started singing, and these guys took to you and then built from there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Well, here's the thing. You know, I mean, this music means so much to me. I'm fairly confident as a singer. I go on, and I have my own band, and I work with my solo band, and I work with Bad Company. I've worked with a lot of different people at the front of the stage singing the songs, so I'm pretty confident about what I do. But this was, it's all about performance, you know, and I felt really, when I listened to these guys play, I had to really be on the top of my game because they are on the top of theirs. They're masters of their craft. And they pretty much, I mean, they invented this music. They sort of developed it, and there it is. And who am I to go in there? And, you know, so I had to be on my game, and I felt that, you know. And I think they would have been cool if I wasn't. They were like, they're very easygoing guys. But I felt from my own point of view, mice.
The pianos
Mice.
wants to sing to you.
Huge, yeah. I just felt I had to be on top of my game. I mean, it's not like it's a huge thing, but it was important to me, you know, because the songs themselves mean so much to me when I think of when I first heard them, where I was in my life, and what they meant to me. It was important that we do the songs justice.
Now, I know you guys filmed some stuff, and you know there's some videos on YouTube. But what actually about taking these songs live in like a club and doing maybe a DVD? Is that a possibility?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's one of the things I wanted to do about halfway through the album, because you see, it's one thing recording in the studio. I always, you know, I close my eyes and I imagine I'm on stage. But to actually take this music and these guys and put them in situ in a club and play live, where you get one shot at it. It's no like, oh, we'll take that one again. You know, to make a show out of it and create the flowing atmosphere that you would need at a show. I look forward to doing that. We've done it slightly when we had the record party at Stax.
Okay.
Lisa Allen was kind enough to throw open the place, and we had a record party there. It was fantastic. It's a small room, and it was absolutely jammed with really great fans. And we played 4 songs in the evening, and it was just great to just play them back to back, boom, 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 boom. So I'm looking forward to actually doing that in a club or somewhere. We'll pick somewhere really perfect for it and record the whole thing and do a DVD. Yes.
Okay, so that will happen.
Mm.
Okay, the solo dates, you're doing some solo shows, and how many songs are you incorporating into the set?
Well, yes, I'm touring with my solo band.
Right.
When I tour with my guys, I play music that I've written and recorded with my bands, Free, Bad Company, The Firm, and solo, and I'll include a couple of songs from the new album. We did one show at Long Beach. Was it Long Beach? At Long Beach, yeah. And it was amazing. And I hear ducks.
Yeah.
Ducks are calling.
I think somebody's phone's calling us.
Anyway, we did it, and it was fantastic. And it was really great to include this material in the set. And I'm going to vary it from night to night. I'll do it's about 11, 12 shows, and then we're going to be doing a Bad Company tour later on in July.
And I was going to get to that. So the Bad Company tour, again, is with Leonard Skinner. I know you guys had a successful run last year going through the U.S., and now you decided to tour again with Leonard Skinner. Why did you guys want to maybe mix it up, or what happened with that?
Well, it was pretty much by popular demand.
Yeah.
You know, we did the tour last year. That was all it was going to be for a while. I tend to want to go out with Bad Company every 3 or 4 years or something, and then but this time, you know, the demand was such that we decided we'd go out again this year.
Darien Lake is on the bill. We're definitely going to be there for that because we're huge fans in Buffalo, New York. So,
Excellent, you guys.
Yeah.
Great, it'd be good to see you there.
So we're talking about the Bad Company tour. We're talking about your tour. Lots of things going on. We also just mentioned earlier about the record that you're working on, the rock record.
Oh, yes.
Tell us a little bit about that with Perry, the producer who actually worked on the Royal Sessions.
Well, we have a couple of tracks. We have quite a few tracks actually. We really have to get in the studio. We've kind of done it at long distance. You know, we've been, because I'm in Canada and he's in New York, so we've been sending material back and forwards between ourselves to work on this material. Sometimes I'll drop in the studio. So we have to get in the studio and really assimilate what we've got so far. You know, we've been working on it between other, you know, projects, I
right.
guess, you know. So we really have to. This is kind of taken us by surprise, this in a way, because it was a labor of love. We did it because, hey, we wanted to do it, you know. But it's been received so very well.
Yeah. It's a great
and
album.
and I feel the need to, you know, follow it up and support that.
Absolutely.
And we will do that. And we need to get in the studio for the solo album, and you know, and see where we're going with that.
I think people are probably anxious to maybe even get estimation of a release date maybe for the rock record as we talk about maybe next year.
Yikes, yeah, but next year now.
At the
Yeah,
earliest.
yeah, at the earliest, yeah.
Well, I definitely wouldn't be amiss of having an interview with you without mentioning your love for animals and donating your time and your charities. One of the loves you and your wife have is with the Willow Animal Sanctuary in Northeast Scotland, I believe.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning that. I
Yeah.
understand you guys do.
Yeah, we try to
similar
do
thing.
our little thing too, and
You know, it all
back
helps.
home, yeah,
And it's a feel-good thing, right?
Yeah.
You
So
know.
how did you guys get interested in that particular sanctuary? And
Well, my good lady wife, Cynthia, from Joe Bonamassa,
Okay.
basically. We
Joe,
did a
okay.
show together in New York, and he was telling us about this place. We went there, and we decided we'd throw our hand in with them because they needed the help. You know, they've got, 200 horses? Oh, sorry, they've got 98 horses, and rising. And they're just such beautiful people. It'd be a shame to see them go under, so we help them out as much as we can.
And we appreciate that. And like everything anybody can do, go to Paul's site, and I'm sure there's a link there. You can go check it out, correct?
Absolutely,
Okay,
yeah.
So
Yeah,
people can
thank
go out
you.
there
Thanks
and do
for
that.
that.
So definitely go to Paul's site. And if you haven't picked it up, it's probably one of the big rock records of the year, the Royal Sessions, probably maybe even a Grammy. I see a Grammy in the future.
Wow. That'd be nice.
It's a great, great record. The players on there are fantastic. Original,
yeah.
organic players. I mean, we're talking the original players that played on all the blues records from.
Yeah, they played on the
Yeah.
People's Records. They played with Albert King, Isaac
Right.
Hayes, and everything's in analog.
Right.
So it's a beautiful full spectrum sound.
Getting back to the way music was originally intended to be listened to, right?
Absolutely. You know, I mean, I didn't realize how much I miss that sound.
Right.
It's just such a we used to sit around and listen to records. People don't do that so much nowadays, do
No,
they?
it's all quick and download and
Yeah,
it's
boom.
quickly, unfortunately. So the word on the street is that you are going to be doing a show in New York, June 17th, and actually playing this.
Yes, indeed, we are. Yeah,
And,
I'm really looking forward to that.
And it's going to be, I believe, tickets are going to be going on sale shortly. Not right now, but if you want to check the site, probably in the future, go back to paulrodgers.com because I keep on mentioning that site, and the latest information will be there for that show.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we definitely appreciate Paul Rodgers, and definitely check out his site, like I said earlier, for the dates for the solo tour and the Bad Company tour, which is going to be happening with Leonard Skinner this summer. Paul, thank you for taking the time. I appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Gus. Appreciate it, man.
Watch my hand, knowing I won't forget her. No, I won't. No, I won't. No, I won't forget her. Take my thanks